Hey guys, what's going on? Jared here with the Right Survival Guide, and today I'm going to be talking about why these Rambo knives, or these Bowie knives as so many people call them, or the McDundee knife, or whatever you want to call them, these oversized boogers here, why these are impractical for a survival or a self-defense situation. So today I'm going to start with talking about why these are impractical from a self-defense standpoint. First off, these are big. They stand out way too much. And honestly, I don't know why you'd be carrying something this size in public. Or, I mean, if you're at your house, I understand it if this is what you have on you, if you're just like, going for a casual hike. But these aren't practical for a self-defense situation, guys. They're too big, they're too heavy, they're too hard to maneuver. And it just doesn't. Now, these knives do have a decent amount of weight to them. And I know that there's people out there that want a knife that has good weight, and good weight to a knife is what people want. But you want a good weight to a knife on a knife that isn't so big. Because with these blades, this is like almost having a miniature machete in your hands. They're so big that somebody could disarm you very, very easily if you have this, and this is what you're trying to use as your self-defense type weapon. With that being said, we'll move over to something that I love. It's actually one of my favorites, if not my favorite knife in my collection. The M-Tech. It's made by M-Tech in the USA. I bought this at a military surplus store. I believe, if I'm remembering right, the Marines used to carry these, or they still carry a version of this knife. Don't quote me on that. But what I love about this knife, though, compared to the Bowie knife is, give you guys a side-by-side comparison there, but just the sheer size difference of these. This one is a lot more practical. It's going to be a lot harder to disarm you, and that's what I love about this knife, though, too, is it would be pretty hard for somebody to disarm you unless if they were just trained and extremely well trained and extremely confident in their own ability, though, because this knife has that brass knuckle attachment on the handle, and they would have to know some stuff to be able to disarm you with this knife. And it's also just, it fits so much better in my hands than this one. Every one of these Bowie knives I picked up have had a slick handle. I don't like that. But on this M-Tech, there's also grooves down in there. I don't know if you can see that in the video or not, but those grooves, and your fingers set perfectly in those grooves, and it feels so good. It feels like it's naturally fitting in your hand. Moving on now, though, to what I was saying, in a survival situation, very much the same thing as a self-defense type of situation. Very impractical, because there's not much you can do with these. You can't like really dig with these. They're heavy. If you're out there in the middle of the woods and you're carrying a lot of gear, they add a lot of weight, and they're so big that they could also get in the way of other things. And they're so big that in the seat, they could actually get caught on brush if you're going through the brush or some trees or anything along those lines. So when it comes to buying these knives, I would go with something much more like this M-Tech. I've taken this thing hiking and camping, and I can't even tell it's on my belt at all. It's so great. This thing here hits me in the leg because it's such a long seat and everything for it, guys. Go out, get yourself something like this if you don't already have something like this, or if you're looking into just buying your first knife. I know there's a lot of first-time gun buyers out there. You could also be a first-time knife buyer or just looking for a knife. You could be a collector like me that have never seen an M-Tech before. You don't have to buy this knife. I'm not sponsored by them in any way or anything. I'm just saying, guys, go out, buy yourself something that's highly practical in the real world, because regardless of what you see in the movies, you don't want to be This isn't as practical as they make it look in Rambo, guys. So go out, get yourself something that's practical that you can use. And thanks for watching, guys. God bless each and every one of you. And until next time, I'm Jared.